دي عشان الطب. So I did. So I bought it. First thing I did when I bought the water, when I tried to open it, I cut my finger. Because as I was trying to open it, the thing didn't move. So when I finally did, it went. So imagine like a paper cut, but with a thick piece of plastic. Do you think I went back and bought the water again?
No.
Needs and wants. I need water. I want water, but how I design my product and my service can better help me reach my customers based on taste. This is something we're going to talk about in a little bit again. Needs and wants. It's clear. The difference? Right? Yes? No? So, customer versus consumer. Is there a difference? Is there a difference between customer and consumer? نحكي عن زبون ومستهلك. في فرق? Who says yes?
No.
Who says Salah? Get a Salah. Who else is wrong? Who else says no? Why do you say that there's no difference between a customer and a consumer?
Customer. العربي.
الزبون والمستهلك. ايش الفرق بينهم؟
الزبون ومستهلك، الاثنين مستهلك. يعني الاثنين بيشتروا.
I am loving the fact that you gave me that answer. Because I think I have the perfect example. See, I anticipate things. Not because I'm special, but because of everything that's wrong, that's happened to me in my life, I'm prepared. Okay? So, based on your example, sorry, this person buying the diapers is going to use these diapers for himself.
Absolutely.
Maybe he has a problem. We don't know. I'm not making fun, but I'm saying, but look at what he's buying. Now, who do you think he's buying this for? Right? Customer, consumer. The reason I put that picture is so that it stays in your head no matter what. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, marketing. Marketing is about creating relationships that have value over long periods of time. So far, so good. So, in other words, if I want to reach a customer, a consumer, a market, I have to give them something that makes them happy, that satisfies these needs or these wants. So, when we talk about this, you'll notice that I've underlined the word value, right? Now, why would I underline the word value? Because we're talking about marketing. I could talk about selling, I could talk about advertising, I could talk about anything. But it's value. Here's why. The value is all of the benefits that I give my customer from my product or service, right? Over or divided by the costs. So, every single thing that it costs a customer to use or buy my product or service starts to bring value down.
Okay.
على سبيل المثال. Value.
The statement.
Yeah.
The same statement.
Everything that is a cost to my customer to use my product or service reduces value. In other words, forget about price, okay? I'm not going to talk about price. We have someone that's a specialist on pricing who's going to talk about this. But let's go back to our sessions last week. Work Factor. Work Factor, it's a nice space. We appreciate their support, giving us the space for free. There's value in using this space. It's big. We have rooms, people stayed after to work on their projects. Benefits, right? Things that add value to your experience. What are the costs? Did you pay to get in? No. So, like we said before, we're not talking about price. But what are the things that reduce the value?
مكان بعيد
مكان بعيد. So now we're talking about distance. What else? شلة.
I don't know.
You don't
There's
know.
nothing to expect.
It's a perfect place for you.
It's not perfect. but
What makes it not perfect?
Just the location.
Just the location.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Okay, what else? أنا مثلا, something that it costs me is whenever I have to fight with the garages that park their cars and don't let me either get out or get in. This is a cost to me, right? Every time I park my car, subhanAllah, I get a flat tire 2 or 3 days later. These are costs. I'm not talking about money, but I'm talking about effort, resources that I have to use, right? So these things are important because if I don't understand what they're willing to pay for and what they receive that really makes them love the product or service, I'm going to lose my customers. Okay? Now, so far so good? All right,
Okay, just one.
please. Okay.
Okay. Who we should, I'm not talking about creating value.
It's okay.
Okay. Who we should target in our marketing? Consumer or customer?
I'm going to answer that. I'm going to let you answer that in a little bit. But it depends on what you're offering, and it depends on what makes sense. Now, again, this is a complete, not a complete course, but it's a comprehensive course. Okay? So you're going to take things about business model. You're going to take subjects like finance, accounting, things that make sense and how I should account for the profits I should be making, where my expenses are, how I should price my product.
Okay.
One of the things we're talking about here is overall strategy. And towards the end of the session, we're going to talk about how to pick and choose your markets based on your understanding of the market.
Okay.
But you have a specific question. So
Depends
give me
on
the
your
specific
product.
question. لا لا, give me the specific. لا, هو عنده سؤال ومحدد سؤال.
No, it's very specific, okay? When we, the example for a customer consumer is amazing, okay? Because the purchase power is from that, and the consumer is the children, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about other products, okay?
Such as cigarettes.
Such as, let's say just such as cigarettes
Okay.
and any other product.
Procter and Gamble.
For example, okay? It's very...
Pringles.
Pringles. Okay.
Method.
Okay, no. It's a very specific issue. Who should we target our marketing? We have the segmentation, we have the marketing, we have who will buy, who
Right.
will, okay? The marketing should be targeted for the customer
Yes.
or the consumer. Let's say just a thing, if we talk about Pringles, the consumer, which is the children, will ask frequently from their dad, which is the customer, to buy Pringles.
Sure.
So,
I have the perfect answer to you.
okay.
It's called Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is not a manufacturing company. Coca-Cola is a pure marketing machine. They don't make products. They don't sell products. They just market the hell out of the product. And they do it better than anyone else in the world.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Why? Because it tastes better. For me, it tastes great. I had to have a Coke before the session, right? But what do they do? And we're going to get to this in a minute. If you let me, I can answer this question based on the next thing, because again, it's anticipating. See, I knew he was going to say that customer and consumers are the same, and I knew that he was going to ask a question. So, which brings us to the marketing mix. The tools that we use to make sure that we pick and choose our markets correctly. We know whether or not we're dealing with customers and consumers, and how we maintain these relationships and enhance value. Benefits always have to go up. Value has to go up. So we're going to get into the Coca-Cola example in a second. So the marketing mix is comprised of the 4 Ps. I know most of you have heard of this. Product, price, place, and promotion. Now, let's stop for a second. Think about this like a car. I know this because I had a flat tire this morning. Alhamdulillah. So,
ماذا فعلهم كمان فيه؟
and now,
ماذا فعلهم كمان فيه؟
هلا هما مدارس. You have 7 C's, you have 10 P's, 5 Q's, 3 F's, كله تمام. But the basic concept is the 4 P's. The product, the price, the place, and the promotion, which means this. What am I offering that is of value to my customers? Okay. Now the offering could be this. It could be the warranty. It could be the store that they buy this from, right? All of these things make up the product. It's not just عندي جهاز كتير منيح وخلص. No. How many of you have ever had car trouble? Okay. So alhamdulillah, أنا بحضر السيارات. I always have car trouble. So the product is great. I love the car. Here's the problem. Who's going to fix it for me? Am I going to take it back to the company itself? Am I going to look for a mechanic in some garage, God knows where? Am I going to have to wait for someone to come and pick it up? All of these things add value. Now, this is one of the reasons why you pay more money for a new car from the company itself, right? Because everything is, there's a warranty, they tell you you get it, شو اسمه, صيانة كل 6 أشهر, كل 3 أشهر. Everything's great, everything's wonderful. But the product is everything that goes into what you are providing or giving your customer. Price. We talk about the perfect compensation. Something that your customer can afford. Something that you can live with to make money. Because you have to be able to cover costs. Now if you can't, then there's something wrong here or here. Okay? And I want you to remember something. Price is the only one of the 4 P's that generates revenue. Everything else is a cost center or an investment. But price, this is the only chance you have to get money from the customer. So this is why we dedicated a special session for price. Place. Place is everywhere, and we hear the songs on the radio. But what else? What we don't see is we don't see the wholesaler who gets free product if they sell X amount of Coca-Cola products.
Target.
Right? They have to have targets. Why? Because when they do this price becomes irrelevant. The 2.5 shekels, maybe they don't make any money on it. They make the money at the end of it. This is why marketing is a very long process now. The promotion, here we're talking about things like advertising, we're talking about sales promotions, discounts, trade allowances. I'll give you an example. How many of you smoke? MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. Dunya bkhair, dawla bkhair. Because every cigarette that you buy goes right to
مليون شيكل كل يوم.
الحكومة. So, when you buy your cigarettes, one of the things that I noticed when I was working in the US, when I was working with companies like RJ Reynolds and Philip Morris, is the costs are very, very high for cigarettes. And what do I mean by this? I mean, you would pay, literally, without taxes, $28 to $30 for every carton of cigarettes straight off the manufacturing line. So you're talking about $3 per pack. And you're saying, that's too much. That's just pure cost. You still have taxes. So the taxes would make the pack go from $3 to $7, $8, $9. Right? So how can they sell a pack of cigarettes for $3.50 if it costs them $9? It's very simple. Promotion in place. Here's what I mean. If you hit your target and you sell X amount of products, they give you money at the end of the month or at the end of the year. This reduces the price. So your cost goes down because you're moving product. Place. If I deal with X wholesale, I get something called a trade allowance. They give me $5 off every cart. So that's another 50 cents. Aside from the discount I get from the wholesaler himself. You get my point? So these things together make the car move. One by itself, the car stands still. And I was going to show you guys a picture of the flat tire that I had.
مثال كريتيكال شوي.
طيب أول شيء
بسجل ملاحظات.
بتسجل ملاحظات، تسجلش. أنت جاي تستفيد بعدين. طيب على سبيل المثال احنا حكينا عن شركات الدخان. ايش شركات الدخان ببيعوا دخان؟ لا ما ببيعوا دخان. تجار بس بيعملوا ترويج. شو يعني ترويج؟ احنا بنتواصل مع الزباين او الفئات المستهدفه اللي في السوق اللي احنا بدنا نركز عليها. فما بيركزوا على المواطن العادي. They don't care about you guys. كانوا يسموكم اشياء ما بقدر اعيدها يعني I have confidentiality agreements I've signed I can't break them. بس اشياء انه adult smokers under 30. ليش؟ ASU 30s. لانه ما بيقدروا يحكوا انه احنا نستهدف اولاد مدارس. يعني هذول الجماعه ما بيشتغلوا انهم بس ببيعوا دخان، ببيعوا حكي. وبوفروا سلسله لهذول المنتجات تمشي بغض النظر ايش المنتج. ف اذا انا بحكي عن المنتج نفسه باكيت دخان كتكلفه في امريكا مش هون، هون بعرفش كيف التكاليف صارت I have no idea. في ناس اضرب في هذا الموضوع مش راح اشرح على حدا ولا راح اذكر اسماء شركات زي يونيفا، بس المهم انه منتج خلص موجود واضح في طلب عليه صح ولا لا؟ حتى بطل انه والله بدي دخان احتاج دخان يعني اكسجين ولا دخان؟ اكسجين ولا سيجاره؟ لا يا عم السيجاره اذا انا بدخن صح ولا لا؟ لانه الاحتياجات يعني ما يريد وما يحتاج المستهلك او الزبون بناء على القيم والمبادئ اللي عنده حسب الاولويات اللي عنده. فلما بنحكي عن هذا الموضوع نحكي انه ما بيشتغلوا كخط انتاج ولا بيشتغلوا مثلا كشركه دخان، بيشتغلوا يعني بيور ماركتينج. بس ماركتينج مش يعني بس بزتوا اعلانات. بيمسكوا التجار هيك بيحكوا لهم في عندكم هدف كل شهر بدكم تبيعوا مثلا كذا مليون كرتونه. بعرفش كيف بدهم يمشوا، ومش بس هيك كمان بدهم ايش؟ بدهم تقارير، بدهم يعرفوا بالضبط من وين جبت الدخان، لمين بعت الدخان، ايش السعر، اعطيته خصم ولا لا، والله كم من موظف بيمسك الكرتونه، عشان يتاكدوا انه المنتج تبعهم بيمشي صح. هاي السيطره تخلق نوع من التفوق على المنافسين ولا لا؟ يعني تخيلوا انتم ماسكين العمليه من اولها لاخرها. مين بده يجي يدخل على الخط تبعكم؟ فيش حدا. كوكا كولا بتعمل نفس الشيء. مايكروسوفت لفتره طويله كانت عامله نفس الشيء وما زالها بتعمل هذا الشيء. How many of you do not have a Mac notebook? Welcome to the wonderful world of Microsoft, Microsoft Office, and
Just
Windows.
waiting for Windows 10.
فاهمين علي؟ So these things become very important. يعني Microsoft مثلا we're going to get to this in a minute كانت تستخدم الماركتنج ميكس بشكل عادي. بس الاستراتيجية تبعتها كانت استراتيجية أخو شباب يعني I can't say anything else. So we're going to get to this in a second. But is this clear? These are the tools that I use. Each tire moves the car forward. If one is not working, the car can still move, but I'm going to, not only slowly, but I'm going to break the car. And it's going to cost me a lot more money to fix it. صح ولا لا؟ أنا تعلمت هذا الشيء اليوم. So, intro to marketing, done. We have the basic terminology, we have the basic concepts. Now we talk about marketing strategy. So we talk about what is marketing strategy, and we talk about types of marketing strategy. Now these things become important to us. So, marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is supposed to create a sustainable competitive advantage. In other words, المثال اللي هلا اعطيناه عن كوكاكولا، فيليب موريس، مايكروسوفت إلى آخره. This is something that I use to take customers when I want to take customers and to keep them away from everyone else. So how do I create this competitive advantage? Well, one way is called cost leadership. And cost leadership means at any time, my primary goal is to have the lowest price available to my customers. So here, I look to control everything in the process. So, imagine, I only deal with people based on how cheaply or how inexpensively they can give me my service or my product to get to my customer. عادي، في شركات كتير بتعملها ولا لا؟ الاتصالات بيعملوها. بيشتروا أرخص شيء بعدين بيزيدوه عليه. بمزح. جوك ها. طيب. But with cost leadership, I'm going very broad. I'm looking to hit my entire market. Okay? And that's why it's called the leadership strategy. Because here I'm looking to make sure that I control this process and I can get to as many people as I can. Okay? With one product or one product line. Then we have something called cost focus. Cost focus, I'm concentrating on specific, narrow segments in the marketplace. You know, we've said segments, we've talked about targets. We're going to go into details in a little bit. This is mass. This is narrow. This is niche. Here I'm focusing on a group of people. Here I'm trying to get everyone. For example, cost leadership versus cost focus. Cost leadership. عندي مطعم ببيع سندوتشات لبنة مرتديلا إلى آخره. Right? قديش التكلفة راح تكون على مش التكلفة لأنه أصلا مش أكل يعني خاصة المرتديلا ولا شيء زي هيك. بس this is for everyone. This is how my restaurant is built. Right? And I try to get as many people as I can. Cost focus. بعمل وجبة بركز على ناس اللي الحالة المادية تبعتهم في عليها علامة سؤال. ما بضحي انه في الوجبات الثانية، الاشياء الثانية بيكون في دجاج، بيكون في لحم، بيكون في كثير شغلات. بس هون بدي استهدف فئة معينة من السوق، طلاب المدارس مثلا. بعرف طلاب مدارس عندهم مش مصاري كثير. right? هذا طلاب الجامعات بدهم لحم مصاري. طالب الجامعة بقطعه 20 30 40 شيكل حق وجبة. طالب المدرسة أعطيه شيء محدد. What he can buy, what he can use, based on the costs that I have.
Okay, so we are talking mainly about high-tier products and low-tier products.
No, we're talking about niche.
I'm talking about actual, in terms of a restaurant.
Okay.
يعني بديش أعطيكم مثال مثلا زي ماكدونالدز أو هذول الناس اللي بيعملوا مثلا وجبات اللي بتكون أقل شوية من الوجبات الثانية. But let's assume for a second that we're not talking about food. Let's assume for a second we're talking about products. We'll go with products. طيب. Coca-Cola. معلش, I'm going to go back to Coca-Cola because everyone knows it. Or even the cigarette companies, but Coca-Cola.
No,
Do you think?
cigarette company will apply more. We are talking about Marlboro and Alan and.
في عدة شغلات. Let's assume, for example, Coca-Cola. We don't have, quote unquote, the Coca-Cola company here. عندنا شركة المشروبات الوطنية اللي عندها رخصة من شركة كوكاكولا إنها تصنع وتروج وتسوق منتجات اللي تحمل اسم كوكاكولا، صح ولا لا؟ حلو، good، ممتاز. What else do they do?
Happy.
Hello. What else? Arwa. What else? What else?
club.
ولا لا؟
لا لا
نعمل club.
كلنا اسمه
هلا it's club going to everyone,
No.
but there's still people that prefer Club Cola or they're willing to buy Club Cola over Coca-Cola, over Cappy, over Arwa. Here, my cost leadership goes to the mass market. Here, I go to specific markets. مش فاهم يعني اعطيني شيء يا زلمه. لا ليش؟ اوكي
فاهم الكونسبت؟
لا 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 انا راح اجيك
مش
راح
قادر-
اجيك
مش
من
قادر
من زاويه
تابلاي،
ثانيه.
مش قادر تابلاي.
جامعات جامعات صح ولا لا؟ في عندنا جامعات الحمد لله خير الله، يعني احنا عندنا ضعف في الجامعات اللي موجوده سوري يعني بالاسرائيل. عندهم 7-8 جامعات، عندنا 15 بين الضفه الغربيه وغزه. We have twice as many. احنا بنحب التعليم يا جماعه الخير. فيش غلط في الموضوع، صح ولا لا؟ هلا اذا انا بفتح جامعه وبخلي اقساط الجامعه كثير بسيطه. I'm employing a cost leadership strategy, am I not? لأنه بستقطب أكبر عدد ممكن من طلاب اللي بيتخرجوا من المدارس الثانوية وبنجحوا في التوجيه. على سبيل المثال cost focus، بفتح كلية في هاي الجامعة، بس هاي الكلية تستهدف طلاب بسعر أقل شوي من الكليات الثانية. فإذا أنا بدي أشجع مثلا تخصص زي الفنون الجميلة، الفنون الجميلة بدناش تكتب الفيزياء، الفيزياء ما يكفي خلاص. لا لسه بس فنون جميلة، ايش بعمل؟ هلا كل الجامعات، كل الكليات الثانية، الهندسة، التجارة، الآداب، كل الاي تي، كل اللي عليهم طلبة ما بطبق هذا الشيء. بس بدي طلاب فنون جميلة بنزل السعر شوي، بركز على هاي الفئة. فبهاي الحالة أنا بقلل التكلفة على هذول الناس.
يعني يوميا انه الكوست فوكس دائما البرايس بيكون اقل،
The costs.
الكوست بيكون اقل.
The costs.
Okay.
And usually when you have lower costs, you're going to have lower prices.
كوست فوكس means انه الكوست بيكون اقل من
Yes. But for a certain
يعني مش
group.
نيجي ماركتينج.
نعم. No. But for a certain group, not for everyone. Okay. نعم.
I think it's both as a marketing.
كيف؟
لانه مثلا اذا بدك تروح على سيستم الجامعه، سوري انا ماليش دخل، بس اذا بدك تروح على سيستم الجامعه في عندك شيء انت بتشوفه كل يوم، جامعه القدس المفتوح
طيب.
فور اكزامبل، اذا انت بدك تروح على بير زيت بدك تدفع مصاري اعلى، بدك تجيب معدل اعلى يأهلك تدخل بير زيت. بس اذا انت مش تارجتنج بير زيت، جبت معدل 60 65 بتروح اقل مثلا ب 50% من بير زيت حسب المعدل تبعك. يعني الموضوع مش بس ديبيندز اون ماني، مش ماني وايز الموضوع.
انا بدي اوصل
بس أنا بديش أدخل في المعدل
يا.
لأن المعدل بصفي إنه
مش ماني وايز، انا بس النقطه اللي بدي احكي فيها من الموضوع اتس ستيل نوت جاست ماني وايز،
عمر،
مش
أنا-
ماني
إنه كمثال إذا أنا
أكتر
بطلع
بس.
عليه، لا مو شوف الجامعات على سبيل المثال في معدل بس شوي. أنا مش حابب أدخل في المعدل في هذا المثال لأنه إذا أنا بشوف التكاليف على الجامعة نفسها. هذا الشيء اللي أنا بدي أشوفه.
انا بدي سؤالي شيء مختلف شوي،
تفضل.
انه انا بقدر اسوي نفسي مثلا اللي انت طلعته،
يلا.
بس بدل ما يكون بدي اسوي كليه
نعم.
متخصصه لناس لو يعني ليميتد انكم تبعهم، بدي اسوي لناس لا they are willing to pay extra fees.
وفي عندنا هذا الشيء.
ما انا بسألك اللي هون سؤالي بقدر اقول هذا كوست فوكس؟
لا.
انت الكوست فوكس لازم يكون اقل من الكوست
This is for a specific market.
You said it's a not low tier, high tier product.
ما هو أنت دخلت اللو تير هاي تير.
ما هو it's applied for the low tier, high tier.
ما هو أنت بتحكي عن منتجات.
Exactly.
هلا بس شوف. معلش آخر مثال عن الدخان. خليكم معي شوي. في شيء اسمه كول. KOOL. menthol cigarettes. اوكي؟ كول منثول سيجرت عندهم سوق في المدينة. بس السوق تبعهم كانوا ناس كبار شوي في السن. فكانوا متعودين على الباكيت مش الباكس. سوفت باك. سوفت باك بنحط بالجيبه، بنحط بالقميص، يعني هيك متعودين. اجوا اشتروا الشركه مثلا، اشتروا شركه ار جي رينولدز اللي هي بتعمل كامل وهذول الاشياء، اشترت كول. براون ويليامسون، بريتش امريكان توباكو. اشتروهم، دمجوا كل المنتجات مع بعض، ما شاء الله، حكوا اوكي احنا كنا 20 صرنا 33% من السوق. هذا وضعهم تمام. They try to employ cost leadership strategy for the products, especially menthol products. ايش يعني قصدي؟ صاروا يحكوا طيب احنا شايفين هذا السوق عماله بيطلع. احنا شايفين الناس بتوجهوا لايش؟ للبوكس، هارد باكس، not soft باكس. فبنلغي السوفت باك من كول. نزلوا 10%. خلال 3 أشهر خسروا 10% من السوق. Here's the point. High tier, low tier. It depends on the customer. عليه مشكلة؟ الله يسلمك. هلا بالنسبة للجامعات إذا بدي أدخل معدل I get into something like this. لا خليكم معي. Differentiation focus. هلا أنا بتميز في هندسة الاتصالات. عندي تخصص كامل بس لهذول الجماعة. فبتميز مثلا في التخصصات اللي إلها علاقة بالهندسة أو الIT mechatronics. The differentiation focus is tough. لأنه أنا بدي أختار فئة معينة من السوق. وبدي أستثمر في هاي الشركة وفي هذا المنتج كثير. على سبيل المثال. شركة زي إكزالت. إيش تعمل؟ سوفت وير. إيش كمان؟ هاردوير.
I think so. Installation and
installation and maintenance ماشي الحال. بس ما بتعمل هاردوير. بتعمل صيانة. صيانة. صح؟ أوكي حلو. Maintenance. Great. Do they do anything else? حلو. عمين نركزين.
companies.
إيش طبيعة الشركات؟ Other IT companies.
Service.
أنت عندك دكان. بدك برنامج محاسبة. بتيجي على إكسل عشان يكتبوا لك هذا الشيء ولا بتروح على بيسان. See the idea behind cost leadership and differentiation? Now we start to go from something where we only worry about the logistics to the value in terms of the benefits. Everything is supposed to add value. تذكروا حكينا عن هذا الشيء. بس هو أنا بطلع من زاوية إيش؟ إنه بقلل التكاليف على حالي وبقلل التكاليف على الزبون. بينما هو بنحكي عن إيش الفوائد اللي باخذها من هذا المنتج. So when we talk about differentiation, we're talking about customizing our products and services for our market, our customers. How many iPhones have come out so far? This is what, the 10th or 11th or 12th version of the iPhone من 2007 2008 يعني iPhone 6 right؟ هذا أحدث شيء. إحنا في 2014 إمتى أول آيفون نزل على السوق؟ 2007. في 7 سنين صاروا منزلين 6 نسخ إذا مش أكثر عن آيفون. لأن في 5C وفي الأشياء. بس we're saying 6 generations. Right? 6 generations of iPhones in 7 years. ليش؟ والشيء مش رخيص ولا لا؟ What kind of strategy do they have? Does everyone have an iPhone? No. It seems like everyone has an iPhone, but they don't. It's for a very specific market. لما نبلشوا السوق كان كثير صغير. لما تطوروا they went to something different. Differentiation leadership. Here's what I mean by this. Here, نخلق سمعة إلنا لحالنا إنه أي شيء نعمله بتميز. So in other words, we add value through the benefits customers receive by the design, by the quality of the products we use, right? Even if the price is higher. What does that mean? You guys have did the homework. You guys have done the homework, yes? Leave No?
Yes, agreement.
No, be quiet. You haven't done the homework?
أنا فكرت في الموضوع صراحة.
That's nice. I'm very happy. It makes me feel good. إنك أنت فكرت في الموضوع. طيب. So we know how competitive advantage is gained. So what are marketing strategies? Marketing strategies, anything we use to gain competitive advantage. Now,
ما فهمتش الفرق بين differentiation focus and differentiation leadership.
Leadership.
differentiation, again, anything that is focused, we're talking about narrow niche markets, certain segments, right? Here, we're talking about anything that we can use as a mass appeal. So Apple has differentiation leadership, but their machines, their laptops, might have differentiation focus. Then what's the percentage of people that have Macs? It's not going to be more than 20-25% of the entire laptop using world, right? Small percentage, which means what? It's not available on a mass level. أنا راح أعطيكم break كمان شوي. طولي بالك. In this case, when I talk about iPhones, I'm reaching more people, more users, right? How much is the percentage of people that use iPhones out of smartphones?
80% of it.
It's
80.
في العالم.
Out of smartphones?
يعني what's it called? Out of smartphones, yeah. 80% of smartphone users use Apple.
Not Apple, smartphone in general,
No.
Apple, Samsung, whatever.
30%.
It's about 30 to 35%.
Using smartphones.
Using
Using Apple.
iPhone.
Apple as the smartphone market. وهلا بدنا نيجي بهذا الشيء، ليش أنا سألت وبسيب السؤال هيك بهذا الشكل. Smartphones and for iPhones, I can use a differentiation leadership strategy, right? In that market. But overall, it's only part. It's focus. Because I'm only concentrating on these people. Honestly, Microsoft. Again, remember, welcome to the wonderful world of Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. We're still waiting for Windows 10. Now, Microsoft uses different strategies for different products. They have one strategy for their business markets, one strategy for their consumer markets, another strategy for smartphones, another strategy for media, another strategy for games. You start to see how these things come together. But Microsoft's competitive advantage, احنا مش شايفين competitive advantage غير Microsoft Office اللي الكل بوفر 10 شيء للأسف الشديد.
Only increase time.
But you start to see that when you start to use too many of these strategies, we lose focus. We lose the ability to really concentrate on what we do. I want you to remember this word, if you don't remember anything else. Sustainable competitive advantage. إشي أنا بقدر أبني عليه. إشي بقدر أعتمد عليه للأبد. If I'm going to make the best or innovative products, then innovation is my competitive advantage. If I'm going to have the highest quality, quality is my competitive advantage. If I'm going to have the lowest price, price is my competitive advantage. مع إنه السعر عادة بدنا نتجنب هذا الشيء. If you have to concentrate on price, there's always people willing to get into the market. Price wars are the worst things you can do. It's the worst type of competition. Now, we're going to talk about strategies for a minute, and then I'm going to leave you guys a break. Maybe this will clarify the example a little bit. And usually, we break things up into existing or new. Existing markets, or new markets, existing products, new products. So, first thing we talk about is something called the market penetration strategy. Here, there's already demand for your product or service. There's already things available in the marketplace. There is infrastructure. في بنية تحتية موجودة متوفرة لهذا الشيء، فإيش بعمل؟ بزت على السوق. I use something we call push. I make sure that I get as many points of distribution as I possibly can. So I make the product widely available. But if we're talking about a new product in an existing market, we're talking about something called product development. Here, I have new or unique features. Customers that don't buy start to buy. I'll give you guys an example in a minute. Market penetration, Coca-Cola, right? Product development, Coca-Cola Zero, Diet Coke. You start to have people that have diabetes, sugar, ما بيشربوا Coca-Cola, right? But they'll buy Zero or they'll buy Diet Coke. It's an existing market, new product. I've added something of value to it. So, if half of you buy Coca-Cola and the other half say for health reasons you don't, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, or Coke Zero solves this problem. So now I get more people to buy it. No? ليش لا؟
ما بدي اشتري كولا بالمرة ان شاء الله كانت صحيحة.
Great. وانت حالك زي الخروف. مش انا بدي شيء تشربه. I'm kidding. Anyway. Now we come to something called market development strategy. Here we start to teach the market how to use a product. We invest heavily into making sure we get them to understand how the existing product can add value to their lives. So, for example, we have something called Lexus dealership now. Toyota Lexus, right? Do we need another car dealership? We have Mercedes, we have BMWs, we have Audis. ايش كمان؟ عندنا كثير سيارات يعني مش فاهم ليش احنا بدنا كمان لكسس
في ناس بتحب.
So I have to start to develop the market. I have to tell them why the Lexus is such a nice car. It's a really nice car.
Very nice.
ليش احكي ليش بيها السيارة؟
في تنتين بالبلد.
The interior is better. But مش
لا، لا.
كل الناس
المصري لكزس.
بطلت احب اللكسس. وسجلها على الكاميرا. لا سجلها وصلت. استفدناش منها. طيب. But I have to teach the market. So I'm entering a new segment. Lexus is new to the Palestinian marketplace. It's not new in the world, it already exists, but it's new in the Palestinian marketplace. So I have to teach them about why this is going to add value to their life, why this is such a good car, how the interior kind of hugs you as you sit, why you don't feel the bumps in the road as much. Then we have diversification. Now, diversification is very, very risky. What do I mean? ليش؟ في خطر التنوع يعني لما أنا بختار أكثر من منتج لأكثر من فئة من السوق. على سبيل المثال. Sony has a diversification strategy, do they not? They get into different things. They have heavy manufacturing. They have video games. They have TVs. They had phones with Sony Ericsson for a while. Laptops, other types of machines. Right? So they're offering different products to different types of markets. Why would they do this? One, to avoid risk. Right? فتخيلوا حالكم مثلا عندي شركة دخان مصنع بفتح مستشفى.
عشان اعالج اللي بيطلع منه.
It's diversification.
تعطيه المرض تعطيه
يعني بحاسبه على العلاج مش شرط اني اعطيه. But you get the point. And I'm working in two different types of markets, two different types of customers, two different types of businesses, but under one address, right? So, as we said, market penetration, I take a mass approach. I often lower my prices to increase volume. I have to increase my distribution points. And my advertising, my contacts, everything goes up. Because I have to make sure this product gets up. على سبيل المثال شركة يا مسافر تسمعوا فيها صح؟ هاي مجرد شو رأيك فيها؟ منيحة؟ اسمها حلو.
شكرا.
اوكي صراحة خلص احنا ما استفدناش شيء منك. خلينا نكمل الشيء المفيد. What do they do? What does يا مسافر do besides nothing or play ping pong? What does يا مسافر do بس؟
هو موقع تجزئة فنادق للشرق الأوسط كثير. mainly لما تيجي تحكي عن المسافر في كثير competitors له، بس اللي احنا الشيء الأساسي اللي بيميزنا اللي بنعمله إن احنا نعمل أونلاين كونتنت في العربي.
اوكي.
يعني بنرجع الكونتنت تبعنا عن الفنادق للمستخدم العربي. بنقدم انفنتوري فنادق بالشرق الاوسط شيء مميز.
استنوا شوي. هلا بنحكي عن ايش؟ عدد الفنادق اللي موجودين في هاي الشبكة. هذا واحد، صح؟ اوكي. اثنين، ايش كمان بتعمل؟
طب ويا مسافر هي أول موقع تجزئة فنادق تقدم خاصية الحجز بدون بطاقة ائتمان.
حلو. Why? Users, hotels. معي انتوا ولا لا؟ ناس بيحجزوا فنادق عن طريق مثلا الموقع تبعهم. ايش الفئة المستهدفة؟
mainly target market تبعنا يعني ما بقدر بنحدوش احنا ولا بالعمر ولا
It's okay. بس انتوا بتعملوا الكونتنت بالعربي ليش؟
التارجت تبعنا mainly GCC Gulf area.
حلو. ليش بتعملوا الكونتنت بالعربي؟
ليش نعمل كونتنت بالعربي؟ عشان هذا
ليش هذا السوق يعني بالنسبة لكم سوق يعني هيك جميل. It's attractive. سوق جاذب بالنسبة لكم. فئة يعني تجذب الانتباه يا مسافر.
لأنه ما عندك لأنه أي موقع ثاني موجود بحجزات الفنادق ما عنده العلاقة القوية مع الفنادق.
أكمل واحد موجود.
مع أكمل واحد موجود. ما بنعرف فوق ال10 أكثر من 10. في كثير مواقع.
لا أكمل واحد ممكن يسافر ويحجز عن طريق مسافر باللغة العربية. يعني نحكي عن 10 مليون بني آدم. نحكي عن 50 مليون بني آدم.
الناس بيعيشوا بالمينا ريجن.
Which is how many people? نحكي عن حوالي قديش 400 مليون في المينا ريجن.
في
يعني شوي 300
يعني في 400 ل 500 مليون بني آدم، صح؟ خلينا نحكي انه 250 مليون منهم فوق ال 18 وعندهم الامكانيات انهم يسافروا. غصب عني بدي استخدم ماس ابروتش. ما بقدر بس اركز على ابو العبد وابو جورج وام راضي، لا خلص I have to do it for everyone because I'm talking about 250 million plus, right? Which means what? The prices that I charge have to be lower than the prices they get somewhere else. This is one. Two, the promotion. What we mean by promotion, how I get and contact my people. أكمل واحد بيشتغل بس بتصل على ناس زباين أو بحجز. في 7 8 يعني بس شغلهم إيش؟ تلفونات مع زباين، حجز وأشياء زي هاي. Why? Because if I can save money by doing it 1, 2, 3 people. بس بدي أتأكد إنه أنا بتواصل مع هذول الناس. إيش كمان بعمل؟ صح. خصم. إذا هم بيجوا عن طريق مثلا الموقع تبعنا بيكون أحسن أو بوفروا شوية مصاري عن مواقع ثانية. Get the point? Distribution channels. Here I need the biggest, greatest number of hotels possible. Why؟ لأنه بصير عند الزبون خيارات. لما عنده خيارات شو بصير؟ يكون راضي. طبعا هو بحكي انه ليش بديش 50 واحد بس بدي واحد فندق واحد. مين بده يسأل؟ بده يسأل مجدي. ومجدي بده يعطيه نصيحة. فمجدي في هذه الحالة بتحكم في العلاقة بين الزبون وبين الفندق. You see the power of a market penetration strategy when you control the process. Good? Good. Product development, as we said, new or different characteristics. Here, we're talking about things that we've added. We go back to the Coke Zero. Or in the case of Yum Symphony, what makes it so special over other companies? Cardless bookings. ولا لا؟ هلا فئة ممكن كانت بدها تحجز بس ما عندها الإمكانية لأنه ما عندها credit card تصير تحجز على الطريق. So when we talk about market development, we're giving them something new. How many people use credit cards in the Arab world? 10%? How many people actually book online in the Arab world? 3%? 4%? Give or take? So you start to see that they can also use a market development strategy depending on how things happen. The idea is they can apply different strategies based on different objectives, different targets. يعني ما بحكي انه بطبقوا كل شيء، بس نعطيكم مثال انه كيف هذا الشيء له علاقه ببعض. To have good market development though, I need more market research. لازم اعرف السوق المستهدف تبعي، لازم اكون عارف احتياجاته بالضبط. قديش هو مستعد يدفع. These things become very important because Saad Nashif is going to tell you this. Minimum viable segment. I start with the lowest number, smallest number of people I can, and I build based on that. Market development, that's product development. Market development, new customers in current segments. Current targeted segments become something that I focus more on. And new customers and new segments. In other words, here I'm looking at teaching the market more about the product or service, why they're not happy with it, how they should use it. على سبيل المثال, how many people have you seen driving a Mercedes or BMW that have no business driving a car like this? صح ولا لا؟ يعني لو أعطيكم مثال أبسط من هيك. أول ما نزلوا السمارت فونز في شاب صاحبي صديقي يعني زي أخوي. But he's like the brother I never wanted. Okay? دفش كثير دفش. فلما كان يستعمل يعني تاتش سكرين هيك أنا عارف ليش هذا الشيء مش ضابط؟ أنا ما عارفش يعني شرك يعني عمال. So you have to do what with the market development? You have to teach them how to use the product properly. ولا تعال. افهم علي يا الأخرى. You press it like this, and you do this. See, you don't have to kind of put your whole hand on the screen. By doing this, and if you do it right, Taylor is going to tell you about this. You create something called dominant design. إيش يعني dominant design? أنتوا بتحددوا بالضبط كيف المستهلك راح يستخدم هذا المنتج أو هاي الخدمة. فأي منافس بده يدخل عليكم شو بده يصير؟ بده يمشي حسب الشروط اللي أنتوا حطيتوها. Which means بأي لحظة أنا بتفوق على هذا الشخص، هذا الطرف اللي دخل على الخط تبعي وممكن أطلعه من السوق بحكم dominant design اللي عندي، الخبرة اللي موجودة عندي.
I think this strategy coming point of market entry.
With the term, in terms of go-to-market, the go-to-market strategy again, Saad's going to talk about that. إنه هلا كلهم صاروا خبراء في التسويق يعني ما شاء الله عنهم. We have about 3 or 4 marketing sessions. One of the sessions you're going to find, the next one is marketing tactics. Ayman Karut. And he's going to tell you about how to use things like social media as a point of market entry.
Tommy is very smart way.
Well, again, it has to be applicable and it has to be used right. There's all kinds of, these are basics.
Yeah.
These are basics. Yes. So, And as we said, diversification زي ما أعطينا مثال دخان مستشفى. بدناش نذكر أسماء يعني زي الرعاية العربية وأشياء زي هاي اللي أصلهم شركة الدخان في الكويت. You get the idea. The same people that invest in this. Why would you do this? Because you cover yourself from all kinds of angles. Now, we're going to break for about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to finish 7 o'clock. Hey, Sa'a. Illa 10, please. 7 o'clock, let's come back of the session. Segmentation, positioning. So, what's segmentation? Here, I look at breaking up the market into different groups based on criteria. Which means, I look at how they use their products, where they're located, how much money they make, how old they are, women, men, education levels, so I look at everything that I can quantify. I don't look at Hussein as a Hussein. I look at Hussein as a group of numbers. And this is the segmentation, okay? Because these numbers help me identify if Hussein is sexy or not. You're sexy, maybe, don't worry about it. But here's what I mean by this. I, as a supplier, as a marketer, as a company, do I want to put the effort to creating value for Hussein? Or maybe Karma is more attractive in terms of how much money she can pay, how much easier it is to deal with her, and how much longer she's going to be with me as a customer. Segmentation helps me identify this. Because as I ask these questions, I start to ask myself, do they go out 3 times a week? What's their lifestyle like? How often do they buy gifts for their friends? See, it's not just about the numbers, it's about how the numbers are being used. So, quick question. Segmentation. How many of you are under the age of 18? Under 18. بعدين معك. ما فهمتش السؤال؟ كم من واحد أقل من 18 سنة؟ كم من واحد دمه خفيف زي صلاح؟ ما ظنيش. Psychographic, right? Lifestyle. And he likes to tell jokes. And this helps me. If Salah likes things that are funny, he likes jokes, what does this mean? This means that my approach to him, if he is an attractive target, has to be something that is funny, right? Has to be fun. Has to be something that's entertaining. So, now we come to positioning. Now with positioning, it's usually an STP approach, segment, target, position. Now with targeting, we pick the most attractive markets, right? Now with positioning, here we look at exactly where we are relative to our competitors. Now, you remember everything we talked about before? Majdi بلش يحكي عن يا مسافر. He started talking about there's at least 10 different websites that people can use. So again, one of the things that positions Yam Safar is the cardless booking, is the fact that they have people constantly calling them. It's the expansion of the network, how many hotels they have. Now all of a sudden, I'm not dealing with someone that's just going to bookings.com and getting me a hotel. I'm dealing with the source, one-to-one. I'm willing to pay more money for this. I'm willing to stay more loyal to this. Now they've created a good reputation. Now I start to see the value in this service. So how many of you use Instagram? MashaAllah. How many of you use Facebook? Okay. How many of you use WhatsApp? Hello. Google Talk? Oh yeah, you guys are well connected. Why? Why do you use these things? Because it's free. صح ولا لا؟ خلينا نكون صريحين مع بعض يا جماعة الخير. Let's be very brutally honest with each other. We are all cheap. And cheap is beautiful. But if I'm cheap, am I willing to use any type of service? Don't I start looking at the ratings? بنزل أي شيء على جهازي؟ لا أعوذ بالله. شحاذ وبشطر. This is positioning. Now if I do this right, then WhatsApp starts to attract more users. Why is this important? You remember what Jonathan talked to you guys about last week? Creating value proposition? Having all of these users means that there's value. This is why services such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram have value. This is why people download these applications, so they can share, so they can chat. And not only can they chat and share pictures, now there's what? Instagram messaging. Do we really need Instagram messaging? Shan Allah, we just talked about it. WhatsApp, Viber, Google Talk, Skype, all these different services. And now I'm going to message via Instagram? What am I going to say about Instagram right now? أنا هبايد. شو دخلهم في الموضوع?
تربية أحسن.
It's the question of how often do I stay on Instagram. Oh, look, for Instagram, they don't want 1 or 2 shots. They want to keep you on that site as long as they can. You're going to see this when you talk to Ayman. With Facebook, you're on Facebook for how many hours a day? طبعا مش بالشغل أكيد. Right? So when I start to have advertising and when I start to see something on Facebook, I'm going to pay more money for it as a market because I have the attention of the target. And when I advertise on this, what am I saying about myself? I'm saying that I'm willing to invest in this customer. Billboards, magazines, everything, it's great. But being able to identify your customers' needs and wants and being able to see what they can do with your product or service, it's fantastic. That's positioning. It's not just about where you are in the brain of the customer. It's about where you are in their imagination. See, everyone thinks of things differently. Because of that, you have to be able to hold on to a few basic things that can relate to every single person. So, I can't see that.
It's time corrected.
I don't know what what's the head? Is that supposed to be me?
It's me.
That's terrible. So, let's go to the activity. Yay! Homework, right?
Right.
All right, so let's see.
توقع تشوف إشارة.
Beam it, right? We did this. We looked at this. What is this?
Like Instagram.
Like Instagram.
Facebook.
So it's like Instagram? Hang on for a second. شروق؟ صح عفوا. What's Beam it?
It's an application that you can swip and view photos with high resolution.
With high resolutions. Why is that important to me?
I don't know, it's stupid kind of.
It's stupid.
Yes,
Nice.
because there are many alternatives.
So why would Cool Iris be able, company that made Beam, be able to go to the App Store and say, hey, by the way, we have something that you guys want. Because the App Store takes anyone, right? No, they don't. They refuse people. Is that not right, Taylor?
Sad but true.
Sad but true.
Plus it's paid.
Would you pay for this?
No.
Why not?
Because I can swap and exchange many photos on maybe WhatsApp, Viber, and it's for free. So why should I buy this application?
See,
Convince me.
no, you're going to convince me.
I know.
Because you remember, how can we properly segment, how can this product be properly segmented and positioned in the MENA region as a paid download service?
No one loves to pay.
No one would pay for this.
No.
Why? Why do you say no one? What market research have you done that shows no one will pay for this?
Because they are.
No, not because. Remember, there are things that we talked about, right? And I gave you guys some links. How many of you use the links to do the homework? صح.
I see the links, but
So you couldn't, wait a second. فهمت عليك. So basically what you told me was you couldn't do this.
Copy paste.
So you could not, my friend, do this. ايش شغلك؟
لا
لا لحظة شوي، ايش وظيفتك؟ ايش وظيفتك؟ Developer. A developer could not copy and paste a link into a browser. This is what you get for not doing the homework. This is
It's just a click.
No. I didn't put it as a link where they can just click on it.
Yeah,
But I put it as a link.
No, it is.
Oh, it is?
It is. It's linked.
Ah!
It's
This
linked.
is a link.
So, Issa, معلش, what is your job? Are you a tech person? Developer? No. Alhamdulillah. So a non-tech person was able to click and go to the link directly. Subhanallah. أنا مش فاهم الموضوع يا جماعة الخير. I gave you guys links. I gave you guys questions to prepare. And it's not based on what you know. It's based on what you've read from the market. Right? How many people are using social media picture sites مثلا in the world? How many Instagram users are there worldwide? What?
14 million.
14 million?
What? No more.
14 million?
More than
Oh, you're just hating, Gary. That's due diligence, huh?
More than
So maybe, can we safely assume that there's like 50, 60, 100 million users in the world that use Instagram? Okay, hello. Like, how many people use Facebook? Over 1 billion, right?
Billion.
So you're talking about the population of India that uses Facebook for free and they share pictures.
Yes.
Let's assume that I get 1% of those people to pay. Would I make money?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of money. So where's your market research, guys? How did you break down your segments? طيب واضح انه الوضع لوز. So I'm also prepared for this. Because you did not cooperate, I am going to pull out the big guns. So this is something you guys are going to hate. And don't say I didn't warn you.
No, you didn't.
مركز الإحصاء. أوه.
معلوماته مش دقيقة باي ذا واي يعني.
لا.
هذه معلومات أنا بحكي لك إياها من مركز الإحصاء نفسه.
It is one of the first steps we take in doing market research.
Okay.
It's a step. If the Census Bureau was perfect, there would be no consultants. صح ولا لا؟ فإحنا بدناش إياهم يكونوا صح anyway. Now, but there's a range, right? So, how can we break down the Palestinian market? Would you break it down according to age?
Area.
You would break it down according to geography? Really? So, one of the examples that I like to use, اللي أخذوا معاي يكونوا عارفين, and some of you are already smiling. Let's assume that this is the entire world, right here. اوكي؟ حلو. نعم. نيجي لفلسطين.
نقطة.
اسف. اوكي، نخليها اكبر شوي. طيب. I am going to geographically segment the Palestinian market. So أنا بدي نابلس، رام الله. Can I tell from this?
No.
So if I'm looking to attract an investor into my idea, and I'm talking about market research, maybe geographics doesn't have the scalability. One of the things that we talked about in the project is you have to have something. It's not about the idea, but it's about the way that you can apply the idea, right? So let's assume that you have a good idea after starting, right? Let's assume that you have a good idea. And you want to test this out. And you test it in the Palestinian market. If I test it out according to geographic segmentation, I'm not going to be able to apply it to different areas in the region. So one of the things I look at maybe is lifestyles, psychographic, income levels. Gender is something, age groups, because age groups universally, there's many similarities. The older you get, the cheaper you get. I know. The younger you are, the dumber you are with your decisions. You're more risk-taking, right?
Spontaneous.
You're willing to take chances on things because you don't have ما عندكم الالتزامات. So these things become very important to me. Segmentation allows me to profile. And about we say profiling is a dirty word. We shouldn't say profiling. No. Profiling in marketing is a sexy word. This is one of those words that make me do my job very well. If I know certain pieces of information, such as نرجع لمركز الإحصاء. Let's see. Population. For example, I know how many people or how much people are spending on their household income. Or I know where they're located, right? I also know how they're distributed according to age. So overall, 70% of the Palestinian population is under the age of 29. What does that mean?
70%.
Yes, under the age of 29. انت بتحكي عن 40% تحت ال 14 و30% بين 15 و 29.
Oh,
So you're talking 70% is under the age of 29. What does that mean? شعب مسخن.
شباب.
Which means they're more likely to be using things and more likely to try things like peanut. ولا لا يا جماعة الخير؟
They are not willing to pay.
But they're not willing to pay. So how can I get them to pay for services? Or do I focus on the people, the other 30% of the market? Actually, it's 26% of the market that is between the ages of 30 and 59 that might be willing to pay. Would they like the service? Why not?
Because they are old for using these.
So old people don't use Instagram, old people don't use Facebook,
Yes.
old people don't send pictures of their grandkids and of their children and of their vacations to other people.
Few. Few.
Few?
Yes.
Really? I thought more.
في إحصائية عن الموضوع؟
Yeah. عندكم أنا بعت لكم إياه زمان.
والله
Mr. SEO, you don't remember? So you don't do the homework, you don't take the stuff I give you for free. I know. شايف كمان شوية أصير زي developer. بالضبط. So, you guys didn't do the activity. You know what this means? You've basically wasted an opportunity to do segmentation and positioning maps. Wow.
I did think about it.
No, but here's my point. 1 second, guys. حملوني شوي. I know it's 7:20, we're almost
Come
done.
up and see how you did.
Sorry. I don't have it on this one. I'll post it on the website. I was going to show you how to use Microsoft Excel to do segmentation and how to make something called a positioning map. Now, a positioning map looks something like this. And you would have been able to do this for your projects, to talk about differentiation, or for your work. But I'll just show you the link. That probably won't click. So basically what we were going to do was something like this. We're going to take everything for BMIT, some of the criteria based on the segment's needs. Price, ease of use, how applicable it was with other applications such as Instagram, Facebook, ila. And we were going to position them either as a free product, and then as a paid product. As a paid product, its positioning is completely different. And you only pay for things. That's why one of the things I don't believe, أنا شخصيا كعمر ما بآمن بشيء اسمه freemium. كثير ناس بيحكوا freemium. It's a great model. I don't believe in it. Why? Because people will only pay when they absolutely need what you're offering. But if you give them a freemium model, as soon as you put a price on it, they go to the next thing. For example, how many of you would use Facebook if you were charged $10 a year? How many of you would use Facebook if you were charged $5 a year? How many of you would use Facebook if you were charged $1 a year? فاهمين علي? You get the point? So there's different ways to position the product. This right now is being given for free. And you're having problems identifying where the value is. So imagine what happens when we have to pay for it. Imagine what happens when we have to start taking things into consideration. What does this do that Instagram doesn't do? Right? So as we go through this, but we have to kind of identify where our products are, who our customers are, why they need and why they have value, or they see value in our products and services. For your ideas, for your businesses, and for your future businesses. Right? Now, you've basically stolen my thunder. I'm disappointed. And because I'm disappointed, Taylor, should I talk to Mo?
You might have to go for the big name.
I'm going to talk to Mo. Be prepared for a surprise. When you go into, when sales and business development?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, perfect. That gives me and him enough time to sit down and talk about stuff. Yeah. I will make the tools that I was going to give you guys, that we were going to work on, available on the website. Don't worry, I'm still a nice guy. But we're going to add a special twist to Mo's sales and business development sessions. Takeaways for today. Know your customers, know what they want, know what they need, and more importantly, why you are able to add value to their lives. Based on this, you can select who your partners are going to be in your strategy. No marketing strategy can succeed without proper segmentation or positioning.